Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank, with 31 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. It was not a happy day for the Saints in New Jersey as they lost to the Jets 26-20. Lenny, it's not catastrophic, but it's very disappointing. Bottom line is, you've got to win the games you're supposed to win. When you're favored, those are the games you need to win, and then steal one or two somewhere else, and they simply did not do it.
Exactly. And, this is a Jets team that has shown that they can beat some very good teams. They beat the Patriots the week after the Patriots beat the Saints, but they also showed that they could be a very bad team at times, as they showed a week ago when they lost by 40 points to Cincinnati. So you got good wrecks, if you will, as opposed to bad wrecks last week. And the Jets, and probably most notably the former Saint Chris Ivory, got it done, and the Saints were certainly less than their best. And sometimes when you go on the road, especially the Saints, when you go on the road and you're not playing at a high level, that's what's going to happen.
Well, this game was clearly won up front. The Jets won the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. There is no debating that. That's football, and that was this game in a nutshell.
Exactly. This game was clearly won at the line of scrimmage. Muhammad Wilkerson was probably the best player on the field yesterday. And, the Jets running backs were able to get outside and make some things happen. Those couple of big runs from Ivory were around right end. And he used, when he got into the open field, he showed you a lot of what we saw the last couple of years here in New Orleans. He's got the ability to turn them into very big plays.
No doubt, and as a result, Saints hit the halfway mark 6-2. And I think if you'd have asked before the season at the halfway mark if 6-2 would be a good place to be, the answer would be a resounding yes. But considering the fact that they've lost two of their last three and how they lost those games, certainly it's disappointing.
Certainly it is. But keep this in perspective, too. Those are two AFC teams. So when you start talking about tiebreakers, the Saints are still 6-0 against the NFC. And now everything is the NFC the rest of the way, the final eight, because you're finished with the AFC at this point, having played the four teams from the AFC East.
They're going to have to raise their level of play. Upcoming games, Dallas up next. They're very good offensively. And then, of course, some really tough matchups with San Francisco, Seattle, 2 games with Carolina. Atlanta, regardless of their record, they will be tough. So we'll find out about the Saints, and we'll find out about their relative health as well, because that is a major issue right now. Tulane, They laid one of those eggs, if you will. Went to Boca Raton, got beat by Florida Atlantic despite the turmoil that FAU had all week long. It did not prevent them from outplaying Tulane. And, Lenny, this game was all about turnovers. Tulane got one early with Lorenzo Doss for a score, but then Tulane threw 4 interceptions. And moving forward, Tulane's got to settle on a quarterback. You can't play 2 guys.
No, as the old saying goes, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you've got no quarterback. I wouldn't go that far as to say that. I mean, clearly they were trying to phase Nick Montana back into play after being out with the shoulder injury the last 2 games. But, just trying to mix and match him, obviously, with Montana and Devin Powell, that didn't work. 4 interceptions and 4 straight possessions in the second half turned the tide of this football game, and Tulane had a 10-point lead at one point, ended up losing it by 17.
Yeah, they're asking their defense to do a little bit too much right now. Their offense needs to improve moving forward. The good news is they still control their own destiny in Conference USA.
Yeah, they do. But again, this is most of November here on the road. Started Saturday in Boca Raton. They'll spend next Saturday in San Antonio, take a week off, come home, play UTEP, and then the big one at the end of the year at Rice.
As for LSU, this is their big week at Tuscaloosa to take on number 1 Alabama. 2 weeks to prepare, and I suspect Alabama's going to get LSU's best shot.
I think so, but again, Alabama's had the week off to prepare as well, and we know what happens when Nick Saban has time to prepare. He will have something as well, although we say that this was the situation 2 years ago when these two teams met in Tuscaloosa. Both teams had the week off and the build-up leading up to it, and LSU came away with an overtime win in that game. I think it will be closer than the experts are predicting. Alabama is the favorite and number 1 for a reason, but I think it's going to be a pretty close game, as has been the norm in this series.
Yeah, LSU might have an advantage on the outside with its receivers, who had a week to get healthy, against Alabama's defensive backs, which might be their weakest point of their football team. But Bama's defense is better, and they've got great balance on offense. This certainly will be tough. Pelicans got their first win at home against the Bobcats, soon to be the Hornets, and righted the ship to a degree. What has been constant early on is Anthony Davis. He's looked awfully good.
He's been sensational. And, you heard the things about how much he could improve from year 1 to year 2. He put on some weight. He got stronger. And so far, it's been all that. And, 79 games to go. And, the big thing is with these guys is, just trying to maintain some continuity and staying healthy. I mean, obviously the Ryan Anderson, injury, which we didn't find out about until the day of the opener. He's, hopefully going to be back here in the next couple of weeks. That will only make this team that much better because he really gives you that scoring push off the bench.
And don't forget Sports Noah TV tonight, 6 p.m., WHNO Channel 20. Ricky Jackson, Torrance Small, Brian Alley Walsh, and yours truly. And we've got our great shows, Prep Recruiting Insider, and the John Fourcade Show with Mike Detillier coming up this week as well.
Yeah, full week, 5 to 7, Monday through Friday, right on WHNO TV 20. You get more local sports coverage on WHNO than anywhere in town.
Look forward to it. Lenny, as always, a pleasure. Have a great week.
All right, we'll see you later this week.
That's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 31 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. For Lenny, I'm Kenny. Have a great week, and God bless you.